From bioluminescent beaches with waves of light to unique rock formations that don't look real, the planet Earth is full of mysterious locations that continue to intrigue and fascinate scientists around the world. So for today's video, we're going to count down the top 15 most mysterious locations in the world. Starting with number 15, Mosquito Bay. At night, an eerie, ethereal light lights up Mosquito Bay, located on the south side of Puerto Rican islands of Iquitos. Bright blue tracer lines appear in the water as small fish dart through the blackness. But this illumination has nothing to do with spirits or aliens. Mosquito Bay happens to be one of the world's brightest bioluminescent bodies of water. This bioluminescence is a form of natural light created by living organisms converting internal chemical energy into light. The light in this bay is created by these tiny organisms called dinoflagellates, specifically Pyrodinium bahamens, or swirling fire. Mosquito Bay also contains an astonishing number, roughly 700,000 per gallon of water. Although they are microscopic, the effective size of the light they give off is 100 times larger than their own bodies, and in great numbers, they light up like an underwater aurora borealis. Trapped by a curve in the bay's opening and fed by the surrounding mangroves, the dinoflagellates find this bay a perfect home. These microscopic organisms make light upon sensing any movement in the water, swirling out bright blue-green plumes that eventually diffuse back into the dark stillness of the bay. Their bioluminescence is thought to be a defense mechanism. This light actually attracts larger fish that can ward off the small fish that feed on these dinoflagellates. It also makes paddling through the bay an astonishing and surreal experience. Number 14. The Dancing Forest. Between the Baltic Sea and the Curonian Lagoon, on the Kruglaya dune of the Curonian Spit, there's a forest where the pine trees seem to be doing the twist. Dozens of trees in the Dancing Forest of Russia have trunks that are contorted into rings, spirals, and other loops and squiggles, and the reason for this mysterious malformation isn't known. The trees were planted in the early 1960s to stabilize the dune sand, but the unstable sand is one explanation people posit for the trees seeming so unstable themselves. Locals call the crooked wood the drunken forest. Studies have been done to try to determine the exact cause, though the results are inconclusive. The leading scientific theory is that pine shoot moth caterpillars damage the pine shoot's apical buds at an early stage, causing them to start growing out at a weird angle from their lateral buds. Since plants naturally grow towards the sun, they eventually corrected themselves and started growing up again, but with their new deformities intact. Some blame strong winds, others manipulation by humans, but the supernatural inclined have suggested that the forest is a place where positive and negative energies clash, and these forces have manipulated the shapes of the trees. Some say the trees willfully follow the movements of the dune sands. One local legend says the dancing trees twist and bend because centuries ago, on that very spot, the trees were made to dance in order to prove the power of the Christian God. Superstitions fuels many of the theories, and it's also made the dancing forest a popular source of hope. Climbing through one of the rings has been said to add a year to a person's life or earn that person a granted wish. Number 13. Norbur erratics. Norbur erratics stand as silent sentinels in the landscape, captivating witnesses to a time long past when ice and earth engaged in an intricate dance. These geological marvels are large boulders, often of distinctive rock types, that have been transported vast distances by glaciers during the last ice age. Perched amidst the barren beauty of the Yorkshire Dales National Park in England, Norbur erratics are both a testament to the power of glacial forces and a reminder of the Earth's ever-changing surface. These erratic balancing acts owe their existence to the relentless advance and retreat of glaciers that once blanketed northern Europe around 20,000 years ago. The immense weight of the ice sheets acted like colossal bulldozers, plucking these boulders from their place of origin and transporting them over long distances. As the climate warmed and the glaciers melted, the erratics were left behind as a lasting testament to the forces that shaped the landscape. These isolated boulders, some perched precariously on outcrops, challenge the imagination as they defy the odds of their placements. They have become a focal point for geologists, nature enthusiasts, and even curious wanderers alike, offering a tangible link to Earth's history. Norbur erratics, they stand as silent storytellers, reminding us of the ever-changing nature of our planet and the powerful forces that have shaped it. Number 12. The Nescoan Ghost Forest. rising out of the sand and seawater on Oregon's Tillamook coast. Around 100 ancient, decaying stumps stand watch. Dubbed the Nescoan Ghost Forest, they are an eerily beautiful memento of the towering Sitka spruce trees that stood here for some 2 millennia. For centuries, these old stumps were hidden under the sand, peeking above the surf only briefly every few decades. The Ghost Forest was little more than local legend. Then, in the winter of 1997 to 98, the coast was pummeled by powerful storms that eroded away the sands and exposed these uncanny natural wonders that was buried there. Geologists theorize that these ancient trees, carbon dated to around 2,000 years ago, were felled during the major earthquake that hit the Cascadia subduction zone in the year 1700. The earthquake dropped the forested land into the tidal zone. When the ocean water rushed in, it likely decapitated the trees, leaving only their trunks submerged in the mud, which staved off decay and preserved the forest remains for the years to come. Before they met that watery fate, though, the mighty trees stood around 150 to 200 feet tall. Today, the relics of those giants share the beach with small tide pools and various marine life. The phantom-like forest is revealed by the shallow waters of low tide, and more ancient stumps become exposed when the tide is at its lowest during the summer.